In many smaller markets, the beginning of autumn is usually the time when many new TV models arrive, making it a good moment to see what's new, what improvements the latest models bring, and what will be available by the end of the year, when most of us traditionally decide to buy a new TV. Also traditionally, the Hisense U8 TV series has been attracting a lot of attention for many years now, as something that brings new technologies and top-notch features, but at significantly lower prices than premium class TVs. The U8 models have often been the optimal choice for those who want excellent picture quality for a somewhat reasonable amount of money. This year we get to take a look at the Hisense U8Q, the latest representative of this series, and see if it still delivers the same price-to-performance ratio. We have received the 65-inch variant, which probably makes the most sense for buyers in this class. Interestingly, for those who follow Hisense, the letter suffix which we used to see each year with the U8Q to distinguish it from last year's models is now missing. We're not sure why it's simply called U8Q this time, but it's definitely the latest model. We assume things will become clearer next year. Right away, I gotta say that this is an exceptionally good TV, improved in practically every aspect from hardware, picture processing, and software, and that the Hisense U8Q is absolutely what we expect from this series in 2025. But let's take it step by step and go through everything in detail. First, in terms of design and build, this TV leaves an impression in line with what we've come to expect from Hisense, perhaps even on a slightly higher level. From the front, there are no real surprises. A thin bezel of about 2mm, some additional margins, and a bottom strip about 1.5 cm wide, not much different from most modern models in this class. The stand consists of a thin but very heavy steel base and a panel support that also features a plastic cover at the back for cable management. Interestingly, the TV can be mounted at two heights, right above the base of the stand or slightly higher for those users that have a soundbar placed on a shelf in front of the TV. Viewed from the side, there's a single-piece aluminum frame wrapping around the top and sides, while the whole TV has an even thickness of about 4.5 cm with a flat back panel, somewhat reminiscent of a more robust version of Samsung's premium models we've tested. In this case, however, everything is integrated into the TV itself with no external box, so we can say there's a good balance between sturdiness, looks, and dimensions. The slightly wider profile has also been used to integrate speaker openings on the sides, with a perforated metal profile angled at 45 degrees to project sound by bouncing it off the side walls towards the user. Speaking of sound, there are also a pair of Dolby Atmos speakers on top of the TV, projecting sound towards the ceiling, and two passive radiators on the upper back to improve low-frequency response. The TV housing on the back is made of plastic, but we have no complaints about sturdiness or build quality nor aesthetics, as it is nicely styled with a square texture. The flat back is convenient for wall mounting since the TV can sit very close to the wall. Likely for this reason, instead of the usual two connector sections we see on their TVs, Hisense has now placed everything in a single one accessible from the side. In it, you'll find a LAN port, antenna and satellite connectors, 3 HDMI ports, an AV input via a 3.5mm adapter, a 3.5mm analog audio output, 2 USB ports, one with 1 A for powering external drives, and a CI+ slot. A special treat is the USB Type-C port located directly on the side of the TV, which, in addition to data transfer, also supports device charging and video transfer via Alt-DP mode. In practice, this works like DisplayPort, allowing you to connect laptops and phones for video charging and data transfer, all through a single USB-C cable. This is the first time we've seen something like this on a TV, and it's definitely the future, so kudos to Hisense. The DisplayPort and 3 HDMI 2.1 ports that can output 4K at up to 165 Hz, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro variable refresh rate, and support for Dolby Vision gaming make the Hisense U8Q truly impressive for big screen gaming. When the TV is in game mode, which oddly only works on HDMI inputs, you also get a game bar menu showing parameters, predefined display profiles for different game genres, an on-screen crosshair, zoomed minimap, and AMD FreeSync control. The main reason to go for a TV like this is of course picture quality, which I gotta say is absolutely impressive and noticeably improved even compared to the already excellent previous models. The U8Q is packed with advanced technologies that have been further refined, and it shows. To start with, there's a VA panel with average viewing angles but excellent uniformity. In our black and white checkerboard pattern test, it achieved an impressive measured contrast of 9694 to 1. This unusually high figure, nearly impossible for a static contrast, is partly due to the local dimming system, with as many as 2,048 zones. Fine enough resolution to bypass the test requirements on a surface the size of our colorimeter and enhance what the panel achieves on its own. On a larger surface, the contrast is practically infinite since the backlight can be completely switched off to display true black when there's no surrounding bright content. In use, this means subtitles display very well without the so-called blooming, at least not noticeably in most situations. As someone who uses OLED at home, I can say that the practical difference is negligible in this regard. As for the backlight, it uses Mini LED, or Mini LED Pro as Hisense calls it, rated at maximum brightness of 5000 nits. The highest we've measured in real-world content was 3550 nits, which is still an outstanding result, especially since HDR content exceeding 4000 nits is quite rare. This figure applies to about 5 to 10% screen coverage, but the TV remains very bright even at larger coverage. About 2400 nits at 25%, 1400 nits at 50%, and about 870 nits at 100%. The picture processing and backlight control logic are tuned in a way that uses the high brightness potential very effectively, making very bright details within the scene truly striking, which is the main point of high brightness anyway. The other benefit, of course, is usage in very bright rooms, and for that purpose the U8Q includes an ambient light sensor to adjust brightness. Hisense also states that the panel supports an anti-reflection pro coating, though in our opinion the reflection handling is fairly standard, decent but not particularly impressive. What does impress, however, is color reproduction, which thanks to quantum dot technology and high brightness is very vivid and contributes to a premium visual impression. The panel is 10-bit, though with the use of FRC, but in our measurements it achieved a very good 95.5% DCI-P3 coverage. The combination of high contrast, brightness and color reproduction makes HDR playback truly impressive, and it's a real joy to watch content that takes proper advantage of it. In addition, practically all HDR formats are supported, including HDR10 Plus Adaptive and Dolby Vision IQ. As for color accuracy, it is excellent with a delta E deviation of 2 in several picture preset modes, including Cinema and Filmmaker, which are intended for those who want realistic reproduction. Even game modes are fairly accurate at just over 3. Hisense also notes that the U8Q comes with a Pantone validated certificate. For those who prefer a more vibrant and attractive look over absolute accuracy, standard and energy-saving modes offer fine enhancements to color and contrast that will likely appeal to most users. Since this is 2025, the TV inevitably features AI processing, which takes picture adjustments to an even higher level. The AI picture optimization feature uses machine learning to upscale lower resolution content, enhance details in 4K content, and optimize contrast, brightness and colors, and other parameters depending on the specific scene. While in previous years we weren't particularly impressed by this option due to its very subtle effect, it seems both the algorithms and the processing power behind them have finally reached a level that makes a noticeable difference when enabled. We really liked how this works and believe it will be an excellent feature for most users. This is likely also thanks to the MediaTek Pentonic 800 chipset powering this TV, with a 1.6 times faster CPU, 2.2 times faster GPU, and 1.5 times faster MPU compared to last year's U8 model's chipset. The extra power is noticeable not only in general TV use and interface performance, but also in demanding functions like MEMC or real-time motion processing, which is not only significantly improved over previous Hisense models, but also very good compared to the current gen high-end competition. It's immediately clear that motion is smoother at maximum settings with fewer artifacts than we've seen even on premium models. For those who dislike the soap opera smoothness, there are profiles like Clear and Film that provide a more natural look while still offering very good performance and eliminating judder in scenes. Overall, a truly excellent package of hardware and software when it comes to picture quality. As for sound, while in terms of pure quality it may not quite match the very best Hisense models we've heard, the U8Q absolutely has strong points of its own. The only real criticism is that low frequencies extend down to 48 Hz, but response drops quickly below 60 Hz, so while there is bass, it lacks some sub-bass presence that would add more depth and weight. Luckily, this doesn't significantly hurt the overall impression since the tonal balance across the rest of the spectrum is good, so most users likely won't mind it much. Sound profiles for this model were tuned with the help of French company the VLA, known for its high-end audiophile solutions, some of which we've tested before. You also get profiles tailored for different types of content, as well as a 7-band equalizer to fine-tune sound to your preference. There's also an intelligent mode that uses AI to adapt sound to specific content, plus room response measurement and automatic adjustments. In our opinion, the stronger point of U8Q's audio is soundstage, since it is a 4.1.2 system with 4 side speakers bouncing sound off walls for front and rear channels, 1 subwoofer and 2 upward firing speakers bouncing sound off the ceiling for a better Dolby Atmos impression. 2 times 15 watts, 4 times 10 watts and 20 watts in the subwoofer for a total of 90 watt output. A very capable system for one integrated into a TV, and we believe most users will be satisfied with the impression it leaves. For those wanting more, there's also the option to add a Hisense soundbar, in which case both the internal speakers and the soundbar can be used together, an option Hisense calls High Concerto, similar to Samsung's Q Symphony. As for processing, alongside Dolby Atmos, there's DTS Virtual X and a dedicated option for dialogue clarity enhancement. In terms of smart features, we're used to Hisense using the VIDA U platform, which is what also runs the U8Q, but in the latest version 9.0, which brings probably the biggest changes we've seen since version 3. Along with improved interface performance, there are many visual and functional changes that make VIDA a valid competitor to Tizen, WebOS and Google TV. Right after setup, we were greeted with an app selection that included local TV provider apps and all the most popular streaming services, including HBO, making the offering much more complete than in some previous versions, especially for users in smaller markets. The home screen has been slightly redesigned, appearing more refined, with easy access to commonly used items like input screen mirroring, etc. At the top of the home screen is a banner showing featured content from installed gaming and video services, while beneath the app list is a contextual banner showing content from the selected app. Below that, you'll find rows of content selections from various streaming services, and navigating through individual titles also provides additional info like duration and synopsis, a very useful detail. What we particularly liked was the focus on gaming, which now has a dedicated section in the menu on the left edge of the home screen. There you'll find cloud gaming services like Boosteroid, Blacknut or Endstream, offering a variety of PC and emulated classic arcade games for those that subscribe, as well as the excellent Couch Play, which features quite a few fun and free games. Some games can be even played with the remote, but the game menu also lets you pair a Bluetooth controller for a true gaming experience. Another highlight is the VIDA Art app for displaying artworks when the TV is not in use. Not a new feature, but redesigned this year and offering a large selection of free classical and modern pieces, which is definitely an improvement. Another significant addition is the VIDA Smart Life feature for controlling smart home devices, something we've been used to seeing on Tizen, WebOS and Google TV models, and which brings VIDA U closer to their capabilities. There's also voice control, enabling you to launch certain functions and apps, adjust parameters like volume, rewind content, search for shows, request recommendations, or even set timers to remind you of tasks. You can control the TV via the VIDA mobile app, as well as the remote that comes with it, which has also been improved over previous models. It is very well built, with excellent precise buttons and a clear layout for easy navigation. At the top, there are predefined shortcuts for the most popular video services, plus one button you can customize to your needs. The remote no longer uses AAA batteries, but comes with an integrated rechargeable battery instead, chargeable via the USB-C port, or through a solar cell located on the front, unlike Samsung's remotes where it is on the back. This takes up more space, but we'd say it's probably a better solution in real use, since very few people would leave the remote face down for charging anyway. All in all, the Hisense U8Q is definitely the best and most complete model of this series so far, which, considering the excellent predecessors, is no small feat. Superb picture and very good sound with capable processing in both cases, excellent gaming capabilities plus an improved smart platform all leave a truly strong overall impression. With its current price of about 1,000 to 1,300 euro for the 65-inch version depending on the market, we'd say the U8Q is one of the highest value for money models we've seen in the U8 series. That's why we believe this model deserves attention when you're deciding on a new TV, as it offers many premium class features at a much lower price. For this reason, the Hisense U8Q also gets our highly recommended award. So those were our impressions, but we invite you to share yours about this TV in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and support our channel, and maybe consider subscribing for more tech content. You were watching Bench House, my name is Ivan, and I'll see you next time.